Good morning. Homebuyers can usher in 2026 with a little relief as mortgage rates fell to the lowest level of 2025 in the final report of the year. Now, Freddie Mac says the average rate on a 30-year bench rate fixed mortgage decreased to 6.15%. The average rate on a 30-year loan started the year last year around 7%. Well, President Trump delayed tariff increases on upholstered furniture, kitchen cabinets, and vanities, easing the pace of the levies as voter frustration over price levels continues. Now, in September, Trump ordered 25% new tariffs on kitchen cabinets and upholstered furniture. Those took effect in October, with rates slated to rise to 50% and 30% by January 1st. Now, the higher tariffs were due to take effect yesterday, but are now set to take effect January 1, 2027. 2025 was a volatile year for stocks, but the S&P 500 ended the year up 16%, a far cry from the near bear market it fell into several months ago when tariffs were announced, and AI stocks drove those gains. Well, the Postal Service is making some changes to postmark dates in the new year. Limited pickups from some post offices, as well as mail traveling farther to reach regional centers where postmarks are done, have led to an increase in delays between when you mail something and when it gets postmarked. That could be a problem for those items that need a postmark on a certain date, such as taxes. Now, the USPS says to make sure the mail has a certain date postmark, you should go to the post office counter and get a manual postmark. Across the investment outlooks from more than 60 institutions compiled by Bloomberg News, the optimism about AI is almost universal. Fidelity calls AI the defining theme for equity markets this year. And BlackRock Investment Institute says the tech will likely keep trumping tariffs and traditional macro drivers. NatWest sees a powerful engine of economic expansion. And even the most bearish firm, BCA Research, which warns of a potential recession, stays neutral on stocks for now on the tailwind of AI. Well, outperforming any AI stock, though, last year was silver. The metal was up 141%. It is higher today as well. Now, one reason silver was strong, it's critical for AI infrastructure, with high conductivity making it essential for data center hardware and semiconductors. Well, the condo market hasn't been this bad in more than a decade. Condo prices this fall posted their biggest decline since 2012, hit by rising homeowner association dues and weaker demand. There's a glut of supply in some markets like Austin, Texas, and Florida is seeing higher insurance premiums that are scaring away buyers. Well, shares in companies like Wayfair are higher this morning as President Trump delayed hefty tariffs on upholstered furniture and kitchen cabinets. Instead, those steep tariffs will increase on January 1st. 2027. Well, Sprinkles Cupcakes is permanently closing all of its stores after 20 years in operation. Sprinkles, which was known for the cupcake ATMs, was owned by a private equity firm. The shutdown has sparked swift backlash from employees, with several workers voicing frustrations on the company's Instagram page. Governments worldwide are moving to restrict children's access to social media this year. Australia, France, Denmark, Malaysia, and Norway are advancing or planning social media bans. The changes come as concerns mount over the toll that platforms like TikTok, YouTube, and Snapchat can take on young people's mental health. In the U.S., there's a patchwork of state efforts advancing, but they do face legal challenges. Alphabet shares jumped 65% last year, the sharpest rally since 2009. The Google parent picked up momentum with a number of AI products and announcements. While Google's Gemini still trails ChatGPT in overall usage, it has been rapidly making up ground. And the Army is creating a dedicated AI and machine learning career field for officers as it pushes to integrate AI more deeply into its operations. The new 49B specialty establishes artificial intelligence and machine learning as an official area of concentration for Army officers, a move the service says will help accelerate its transformation into a more data-centric and AI-enabled force. And a Tesla owner completed the first fully autonomous drive across America. Washington resident David Moss started the journey in Los Angeles, and the car drove to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. It was a 2,700-mile trip that took just 2 days and 20 hours. The U.S. has rolled back proposed steep tariffs on Italian-made pasta. Italy's foreign ministry says the Commerce Department has sharply reduced a proposed tariff on 13 Italian pasta makers, cutting the rate from as high as 92% to as little as about 2%. The Trump administration had proposed the anti-dumping levies after a review found Italian pasta producers, including Barilla, La Molsonana, and Pastificio Lucio Garofalo, sold products at artificially low prices that undercut U.S. makers. Stellantis is resurrecting a gas-powered Ram pickup truck with a V8 engine called the TRX as it faces fewer federal emissions regulations. The 2027 Ram 1500 SRT TRX will be available late this year for around $100,000. The return of the TRX is the latest move for the brand under Ram CEO Tim Kunikis, who has been leading a turnaround since unretiring from the automaker a year ago. And the Department of Agriculture released details about how much row crop farmers will receive next year from a $12 billion aid program. But soybean growers say the payments fall short of helping those hurt by the trade disputes. The Farmer Bridge Assistance Program is expected to distribute $11 billion in one-time payments to farmers who will be paid on a per-acre rate if they planted one of the 19 commodity crops identified as being eligible for the program. Florida state officials are making a move to ban paper straws at restaurants, citing concerning health risks. The bill states that any regulations of drinking straws must be based on government policy driven by science. There was a 2023 study published in the journal Food Additives and Contaminants from the University of Antwerp in Belgium that found 90% of paper straw brands tested contain PFAS chemicals, which some link to increased risk of cancer. Well, cases of whooping cough are on the rise in the U.S., and so are deaths, with most of the 2025 fatalities being children and infants. According to CDC data, there were almost 28,000 reported cases of pertussis, better known as whooping cough, by the second to last week of December. While that's less than the previous year when cases skyrocketed to nearly 42,000, it's higher than the average pre-pandemic numbers. And there may be a better day to start your New Year's resolution than January 1st. A UCLA professor who studied what motivates behavior says there's too much attention on January 1st, and the Monday after New Year's may be a better bet. That way you get a double dose of fresh start. It's a new year and a new week. According to a Pew Research study published in January, 30% of Americans made New Year's resolutions in 2024, with 79% picking ones concerning their health. From the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Jane King. Here's to your health.